So here we are, giant pumpkins. I had a vine, this vine here, the one that's leaned up against the white, running out there to that bag of sand that I'm going to use. It was running this way. You can see the barren spot. I had to pick it up and relocate it over here because this giant pumpkin here is actually growing giant, and I've got to put some board and some sand underneath it. And that is not an easy task. That is actually a two-person task. I'm only one person, so I'm going to try and lift the pumpkin and then with my feet or knees slide this underneath. So we'll see if that works or not. I had to reroute the vine though because it was running this way, and see where it is down there, it would have run into the pumpkin, or the pumpkin would have run into it and it would have broke it, and so the pumpkin wouldn't have kept growing. So in order to keep our little pumpkin growing, I had to reroute the vine, but shouldn't take too long. I should be able just to slide this underneath and then hopefully move on. We'll see. Always easier said than done, of course. And as you can see, I did have one more pumpkin over here also, but it's probably not going to survive. It's really small anyway, so I'll probably just end up removing it and sticking with this one, because it's usually only one pumpkin per plant for these giant pumpkins. They can't really sustain a bunch of fruits on them. Now this one is not going to be 500 or 1,000 pounds. I highly doubt that. If it does, that's going to scare me because it will definitely go through my neighbor's fence here. So I don't think it's going to quite get that big, but it could get to be a nice sizable carving jack-o'-lantern, which is what I wanted. So we'll see what happens, but I'll try and get this board under it for now. So yeah, don't ask me how I did that by myself. Somehow I was able to lift the pumpkin up and just slowly nudge this underneath where it's going to sit for now. We'll put sand under it eventually. That's it right there. I just got some sand. It was like $4 for 50 pounds at Home Depot, so that was a pretty good deal. So I'll sand it eventually, but right now we're just going to put the cage back on it because it's like 90 degrees out here, and this pumpkin ain't going nowhere today, that's for sure. And then over here on my second giant pumpkin plant, we do have another giant pumpkin growing down there in its little cage. So I'll have to get another board and maybe even some more sand for it, but we'll see what happens in the meantime.